We're down here today at Silverstone on a windy and blustery day, but dry day, running the old 2019 RB15 and of course the all-new 2021 RB16B. It's always great to see a new car hit the track for the first time. So we've been lucky with the weather here at Silverstone today. A bit of wind, but dry conditions. So Sergio's first experience of the car. Max also getting to do a few laps. So mainly it's about making sure that all the basics are functioning okay, and before it all gets packed up and sent to Bahrain. Well, the car, due to the regulations, is very much a carryover. So the chassis is the same chassis that was used in Abu Dhabi, for example. But of course, all the periphery bits, a lot of those get revisited and changed. So it's an update, an extensive update, I would say. Hence the name 16B rather than being an all-new car. So obviously there's systems checks. It's a new engine from Honda on their side as well. So that's where the main focus is. You get some initial, feelings. But it's difficult in these conditions, this temperature. But obviously you'll get something, from it. He'll have a reference point from when he last drove the car. So it's a bit of information. You're always learning in Formula One. So any lap that you do, there's always something to learn. Even though it's a filming day, it's great for the drivers to be able to jump into what was the old car from a couple of years ago and reference that against RB16B. So it blows away their cobwebs and also gives them a brief experience of their car for the season. I think for Checo, after having driven for one team for so long, inevitably there's going to be quite a lot of differences, even just in procedure, to the way that we operate. So any mileage that we've been able to give him is of huge value as he gets to know his new engineering team, how the mechanics works, how our meetings work, what's required of him as a Red Bull driver. So I think it's been invaluable these last couple of days for him. I think he's settling in very well. I mean, obviously he's been around for a while. He's a popular member in the paddock, and I think that you can see why. He's an easy guy to get along with. He's doing all his homework. He's been working hard over the winter. He's really grabbing this opportunity with both hands. It's good to see, the two drivers, and also Alex here as well, working with the two drivers. So, that's such an important part of the team. So, and the dynamic of the team as we develop this car. It's important for Alex to keep sharp. That's why we're giving him laps in the RB15 today, just to keep his hand in. He's going to be playing a crucial role in the development behind the scenes with RB16B and supporting the two race drivers, as well as tyre testing later in the year for the new tyre regulations in 2022. So, it's great to have him here and passing on his knowledge, as well to Checo and working with the two drivers. It was great to get the Honda agreement, through after the freeze was voted through. Thankfully supported, gratefully by the other teams, the FIA and the commercial rights holder. So, that enables us to fully focus on Honda's last year, in Formula One, to try and do the very best that we can, whilst behind the scenes gearing up, obviously to take on the challenge of the power unit and the operation of the power unit from 2022 onwards.
So much to learn, so much to experience. And just looking at my name, on that car is something very special. Driving the new car, the car that we're gonna drive this season, it's always a very special moment for all the team. They've been working so hard all throughout the year, and through the winter. So to finally go on track with that car, it's quite an emotional day, and we're looking so much forward to it. And to say that I can see the potential of it. Very pleased. I was extremely pleased to come from RB15, already have a reference of how a Red Bull car feels, and jumping into my car, the car that I'm gonna be driving this year. It's incredible. I mean, conditions are not great out there, but it's just nice, to get a bit of onboard, a bit of comfortable feeling with the pedals, with the brakes, with all the new stuff that I'm going through. So pretty excited. I think I can just feel a step in in overall grip at all speeds. I could already feel that. I haven't done a lot, but I can already see that the car has good potential. I think it's just to get me comfortable in the car. So when we go to Bahrain, it's not something that we have to be concerned. It takes a lot of time to be 100% comfortable, and I expect myself to be doing changes in the first 5 races of getting very comfortable with the car. But I have to say that we've done a lot of progress on that. We've changed the seat. We have just belts. Every time we're doing something different, so that's priority to get me comfortable with it. So when we go to Bahrain, we're ready to kick some ass. Yeah, Max is a great talent. Can't really wait to start working with him together. I think you can see that he's so natural in his talent, and technically he's very strong as well. So yeah, just looking forward to get the car up there and start fighting to get as many points as possible for the team. I think the goal is to win. It's obviously a process to it. We have to get on top, and hopefully the car is good enough for that. But we have to wait and see. Mercedes had a good advantage on the team last few years. So hopefully this season we are able to close the gap and give them a hard time. I'm looking forward massively to get people back. To basically to get to a normal life as soon as possible, as soon as it's safe for everybody, and just get the fans, the atmosphere back into the Grand Prix. That will be something very special when that happens. I don't know when that will happen, but I have to say that that's the one I'm looking the most forward to. Obviously, to be back in my country with my people, and I think it's going to be very emotional. Once we have people on the grandstands, and it will be something that we will appreciate more than in the past. I am very much looking forward to be in Mexico. I think this is our national drink, Red Bull. Right now, we're forgetting about the tequila side of it. Mexicans are very enthusiastic, and they really love the team, and they are all behind us. So yeah, I look forward to be in Mexico and win the race for them.
The off season, initially, I took a bit of a break, spent a bit of time with family and friends, of course, to catch up with them after such a tough, long, short season in a way, of course, with all the races in such a short time space. And from there onwards back in Monaco, just training, to be honest, and being at home, not really exciting stuff. I guess as everyone else, but it's of course necessary. Yeah, I'm always excited, of course, for the race weekends, but of course first we have to do the testing, the 3 test days in Bahrain, so it's just going to be important to get a lot of miles on the car, get comfortable yourself with the car, so you try and start the first weekend as best prepared as you can be. Yeah, it's going to be quite short, 1.5 days each for the drivers, but I like it. I thought 6 days was a lot, and it was pretty boring because there's no real excitement. I mean, I love driving Formula 1 cars, but there's not the competition feeling yet, so I'm fine with 1.5 days. Of course, I hope that those 1.5 days I have are going to be run smoothly with not too many issues, so I think that's the most important, but it's going to be fine. Yeah, so of course today was a filming day. Initially I started in the RB15 to just get into it again after the break, get a few laps in, get comfortable, and then of course you jump into the RB16B, and of course it's a new car, so you just again get comfortable with the car around you, with the engine as well, and try to make things run very smoothly and try to be the best prepared you can be to go to the testing in Bahrain. Of course there are differences. I mean, already the big changes, of course, the floor, they cut it a lot on the rear. So the car is always going to behave a bit differently. But it's not, about setup work or whatever. It's just about getting comfortable with the car, get a basic understanding of the car, and then all the work has to be done anyway in Bahrain. It's a lot of races, 23, so let's see how it goes. Of course, I hope that the calendar will be run as normal and not as compressed as last year. But of course we knew that had to be done, but it's not ideal. So let's see how the season progresses. When you're getting close and then the hype is building up, I mean, then it's going to be really nice. And I hope, of course, that the fans can come to the track, and there will be a lot of orange around. To be honest, at the end of the day, it's all about just giving your feedback and try to work together as good as you can. And Sergio has been in F1 now for a while, so I think he has proven himself that he's a good point scorer. And I hope that as a team, we can make it difficult for Mercedes, especially because I think they still are the favorites. So I just hope as a team and together with Sergio we can score those points. Well, it's exciting, of course, for the whole team. But I think at the moment we just focus on the season ahead and try to make that work in the best way possible, together with Honda, of course. And then what happens in the future, of course, is still a question mark. But one thing I know for sure is that everyone is going to give their best and will be pushing flat out, of course, to make it work. It's always good to be back in the car. I mean, I like a break, but then also once you're standing here, you see the car, ready to go, then it's itchy to get back in. And then especially a Formula 1 car, the first time you go out of the pits, it's always such a nice feeling. And I'm just looking forward to the race weekends again, especially like a Sunday. That's the most exciting part.
We're at Silverstone, a nice windy Silverstone, driving, for me at least, the RB50, last year's, 2 years ago car, whilst the new one's getting shakedown. Being back at Silverstone, obviously the circuit's amazing. The cars really feel good around here. We're doing a short circuit, so you don't quite get that Maggots Beckett's feeling. But any day in a Formula 1 car is a good day. When you come to a filming day, obviously the priorities are a little bit different. It's more about the mileage for the team, getting everything, making sure everything's working as it should, and of course getting the cobwebs off us. So I mean, no one ended it up in the wall, so that's positive. So RB16B is kind of been my winter project a little bit. Doing a lot of stuff with the sim. Of course, last year's car had its difficulties, and just kind of ironing them out, making sure we can hit the floor running this year. So yeah, it's been nice to see it translate, and I know even a lot of stuff we've done has already made it onto the car before we've driven. So it just shows all the hard work we've done is paying off. Firstly, when you're driving the new car, is understanding what to improve on the old one. So a lot of it is kind of going back in time a little bit and trying to find the key areas we need to improve on last year's car. Then we kind of have all these different things we want to try, these sometimes wild, impossible things you can do in real life, generate fake circumstances, see if it actually improves the car or not, and then chase down them avenues. And that's something we did with this year's car, and it all seems to be going to plan. Today it's understanding, let's say, the personality of the RB16B. On my side, listening to the engineers, to the drivers, on their feedback, so I can take it back to Milton Keynes and work on that side of the car. And again, just some fitness, keeping my eyes sharp, because obviously I am a reserve driver for AlphaTauri and for Red Bull, so it's always good to stay sharp, get fit, and have some fun. I'll be going to pretty much every race now, flyaways and European races. A lot of trackside support on simulator, but also just being there. Obviously, with COVID sticking around, you always have to play it safe in some regards. I'm here, I'm fit, I'm ready to take anyone's place if they need be. So yeah.